Painting believable textures is a necessity for everyone who is planning to pursue a career in digital or traditional painting, or enjoy drawing as a hobby and wants to improve. This episode is going to be about painting metal in Procreate. I'll show you how to paint a simple metal bucket in 3 different ways. Here I want to cover the difference between shiny new metal bucket, the one that has been covered in paint, and old rusty one. It is a really cool exercise to paint the same thing in different states. My name is Lilia, and welcome to my channel. Here you will find beginner-friendly digital art tutorials, tips and tricks for artists, illustrations, and daily sketches of mine, so subscribe and let's dive into it. I will be working on an iPad Pro Procreate using only default brushes. Today I've chosen one of my personal favorites, Tamar brush. It can be found under the painting section in Procreate brush library. Keep opacity of the brush at 100%. This is a parameter I rarely vary and prefer to use brushes that are sensitive to pen pressure, since it helps to achieve interesting halftones anyway without creating messy grayish color that is hard to blend afterwards. Canvas size is quite big as usual. It's 3500 by 5000 pixels, but you may pick any that fits your creative style. Right here it doesn't matter, as we are going to do some practical material study. Don't forget to turn on 2 useful Procreate windows. Reference can be found under the range menu canvas, and the color wheel. Simply drag it into a desirable spot on your working area. This video is a part of series on painting textures in Procreate, so don't forget to check the one about painting wood. It's already on my channel. I start working on a line art for our bucket. I'm going to use simple generic metal bucket here without any extra details, as I want to cover the main principle of painting metal on a simple object without diving into details. You may use built-in tools to draw perfect lines and circles, but here I prefer to work freehand, so this approach helps you to gain more vivid line. Don't forget to flip your image horizontally from time to time if you decided to draw the same way as I did, as mirroring an object that has symmetry helps to fix mistakes. Also, since we are working digitally, feel free to rotate your canvas for more convenient circle drawing. All necessary changes in the line will be done on the painting stage, so don't worry about them now. Here, I want to have a simple sketch that gives me a shape to fill with color. Create a new layer. Using lasso tool, select the bucket and fill the selection with a neutral gray tone. Put an alpha lock on this layer and start painting volume. Right now, pick 3 colors for light, midtone, and shadow areas. Try to choose gray color but with the color tint. Here I've chosen bluish gray. The metal reflects everything around, so let's imagine that we are drawing a bucket that stands somewhere under the sky. Additional colors, not just gray, will add more realism and life to our final image. Few words on texture and rendering phase. Step 1. Just achieve the volume of your object. Step 2. Add reflection, additional colors, maybe on the side or bottom. Step 3. Use hatching and simple pencil scribbles to create the imitation of scratches on metal surface. Also, you may use texture brushes here. Good choice are brushes that imitate sand, dots, and a brush with a sharp edge. Step number 4. Make your highlights shine. When the image starts to look like a 3D object, feel free to merge line art and coloring layer and start to overpaint the lines. On this stage, I also add an additional color. Here I took brown and painted few areas with it. It looks like scribbles on the stage, but this is fine and we will polish everything later. Now I start using darker color in the shadow area that increases the contrast of the image and add volume. Try to use as many tones in a gradient from lighted areas to shadow as you can. Traditional hatching gives a very interesting effect of metal texture, so try this in your work as well. Now I added two colors. One is light blue and another one yellow, as reflections from the surrounding. Few additional scribbles here and there, and the first bucket is ready. This is gonna be our new bucket. Let's move further and see how is it going to look like being painted and slightly used one. I make a duplicate of our bucket layer and create a new layer above. This new layer is going to be in a clipping mask mode. Here I leave some areas uncovered gray. This is going to be our scratches and dents. Then I paint volume on the rest of the bucket. Bear in mind that light on the red surface is not white, it's rather orange. Here I add more dents and a bit brownish tone on the bottom of the bucket. Also I added a label fire, but it is also slightly damaged by intense usage. When you think that the bucket is ready, just merge the main layer and the clipping mask. Now let's make the third version of the bucket. This one is going to be old and rusty. That means that our palette became black and brown and the lighted areas will be bright yellow. You may add variation to the initial form at this stage, more dents, scratches and maybe even folds. I didn't draw it here, but you may tilt the upper part of the bucket a little bit. In the surface of the bucket will be changed too. Add rusty yellow and brown areas and don't forget about highlights. I hope this video was helpful for you and you've learned something new. The approach I covered here may be used in painting any metal objects. Just stick to 4 steps I mentioned earlier. Stay tuned for more tutorials and time-lapse drawing. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, hug that subscribe button and see you in my next one. Cheers!